Hey, everybody, and welcome to We Watch TV. It is the podcast about the TV that we watch. I am Daniel. She is Hope. This is episode 125. I'm cold, and I just ate sausage.
Sausage?
I got some, cured sausages.
Like a summer sausage?
No, not summer sausage. Just like
sausage from Dollar General?
From Dollar General, yeah.
I thought it was beef jerky in there.
No, the brand also makes beef jerky, but they had some sausages, so I tried
Not
them
cooked.
out. Well, cured.
Ew.
What? So I saw they had a spicy one, but then they also had original flavor, and so I figured I'd try both. I'm consistently disappointed in the spicy flavors of these sausages. They don't go spicy enough.
They're probably made for the Dollar General white people crowd.
It's fair. That's fair.
Can only handle
That's
a
fair.
pinch of pepper as a spice. I don't want to be talking about sausage this entire episode, though.
It's the sausage episode. It's Christmas time. Everybody's thinking about sausage.
But are they?
Who is
everybody?
not thinking about sausage during Christmas?
Vegans.
Do they not have vegan sausage?
I think they do.
Well, okay, so then
No
everybody's
one's
thinking
thinking
about
about
some sort of sausage at Christmas time. I don't know what to tell you. That's just the food.
I think about cheese ball and dips and stuff.
And then a side of sausage.
Cheese ball, dips, that hot appetizer dip.
You know what I also thought about?
That uses dried beef, not sausage.
Yeah. This is sausage related. I was thinking about,
how no one ever needs to know how the sausage is made.
like a nice
Just ignoring me.
slice of sauce, it's a sauce. A cured sausage is still a sausage, but a nice slice of some sort of deli meat wrapped around some cream cheese.
Yeah, that's sort of Christmassy.
Yeah.
But I
think that's where I'm going with the sausage
dips
thing.
is better, like the dried beef.
But
and
see,
the
in that
hot
case,
dip.
the dip is it's got a carrying container, which is the sausage. What if we did the normal Christmas dip, but then wrapped sausage around it?
No. I don't.
Did we
wanna
watch
talk
any
about-
TV?
I feel like what we're about to talk about is more riveting than your sausage conversation.
Everybody, tell me your favorite Christmas sausage. All right, Hallmarks and Netflixes. That's really all we got.
We didn't. We're in the slight lull, and then I feel like next week is when they're going to start pumping that content at us ad nauseum almost.
It's a lull, but it's also us avoiding things. Like, for instance, we did not watch the finale of Special Forces yet.
I just don't have it in me to watch Cody Brown, even though I think I might enjoy watching him get yelled at.
Yeah.
And we've just been tired and busy.
And
'tis the season to be merry.
that's my name.
I don't know what else to say, but it's Christmas. And we're all in misery.
And also, I want to watch Frankenstein on Netflix.
Me
and
too.
I want to
It got
watch-
nominated
yeah.
for some Golden Globes, I think, right?
Okay, I don't know. I haven't seen.
We know Wicked for Good did.
And I want to watch the new Knives Out as well. But I think that's stuff, and I think a lot of people will be in agreement with, that's stuff that when you get closer to Christmas and you want to sit down in the evening and relax, you'll watch that kind of stuff.
Nothing
but right
says
now,
happy holidays like a side of sausage and some Frankenstein.
and a good murder mystery.
But our Hallmark and Netflix movie adventures have continued. We'll start rolling out the big boys soon, and that's when we kind of stop
Thank
talking
God.
about these. But the first one on the list here, I think, is the best Hallmark Christmas movie, not Hallmark and Netflix, Hallmark specifically, of the 2025 season, and that is Christmas at the Catnip Cafe. It stars Paul Campbell, who is one of the very much of a prominent Hallmark male actor. He's in The Three Wisest Men.
Billy from Battlestar Galactica.
Exactly, thank you. Billy from Battlestar Galactica. He played the brother that let the bird out, which was interesting because he played a vet in this movie, Christmas at the Catnip Cafe. All right, Daniel, what do you remember? Give us a synopsis. I'll fill in the details.
Hang on. I got to do a line, and then I can remember what in the world this movie was about. Cats?
You know what's curious? Cats.
Okay, lady finds out that her great aunt And she says it both ways in the movie.
She does, and it was very distracting. You could tell she was trying to be proper and be like, aunt, but then aunt came out. And just be like us. Say aunt.
It's aunt.
It's aunt.
Her great aunt dies. So, dead relative. Drink. And unbeknownst to her, her great aunt had opened a cafe called the Catnip Cafe. And as you might expect, it is a food establishment that also allows cats to run around it.
And you can adopt cats. These actually exist. I know people that
I'm not
have
being critical of it.
Adopted cats.
It's an active place where people can go adopt animals. And I absolutely am in agreement that people should adopt animals, and it's a great cause. I just don't know that I would want to go to a coffee shop where a cat could be walking around in places where they make food.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think I'd be eating food from this. I mean, I have my sweet little dog, our third co-host, Mr. Marvin here, cuddled up to me. And I remember at least twice I've been, on the couch with my morning coffee, and I get down to the bottom of it, and there's a little Marvy hair in it. Can you imagine cats? I hope you like a sight of hair.
So anyways, she's also in the process of finally closing on her first home.
This is an important detail. Do you remember
important
why?
Detail. Well, because she was
her parents traveled a lot for their jobs or their work.
Yeah, they traveled a lot.
That's why she spent a lot of time with her great aunt in this town. So it was really important for her to put down roots.
Yeah. And so she finds out about all this and is like, this is great. So she goes back to her home. It's not her hometown. She doesn't have a hometown. That's like the theme of the movie.
Well, she has to get a little bit more money.
Yeah, she needs a little bit more money for a down payment on the place. And she finds out she gets the Catnip Cafe. So she's like, I can sell it. So she goes home. There's another secret owner of the cafe who she does not know, which is Billy from Battlestar Galactica, the veterinarian in town.
I wouldn't be letting that vet near any birds.
And so she goes to meet with him, and she's like, hey, listen, I need to sell this place and get out because I need to buy my house. And there's a guy that's interested in buying it from us. And he's like, well, I don't want to sell. And she's like, cool, buy me out. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. Here's the deal. I'll sell if you hang around until Christmas and do all the Christmas activities.
The Catnip Cafe also has a tradition. There's like a famous scrapbook where they do all these different activities. Like they have like a puppet show. They have like a festival booth thing. They have a pajama party, a reading party. I'm thinking of the movie screening or something. Did they screen a movie in this? I think they did. I can't remember. They're all starting to bleed together.
Yeah, I think they did because they made up a movie.
Yeah,
like
because
Home
they
Alone.
made up a movie just like they did in The Snow Must Go On. And her aunt would organize these, and she's like, okay, we'll pick one. He's like, no, we're going to do them all. And he's hoping that she'll be won over by the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of, what this cafe means to so many people. And you forgot to mention that.
But instead, she's won over by just a random cat in a mechanic shop. On her way out of town.
Oh my gosh. You forgot to mention that the vet has a very nice practice, but apparently he's like, I'll accept this payment of peanut butter fudge as one does in a small town, or cookies.
I grew up in a small town.
Your payment. No one does that.
I have never once been allowed to pay for anything with other than cold, hard American dollars.
So he has some financial stuff going on, but the Catnip Cafe is very important to him as well, because obviously he cares about animals. However, we found out something. We almost quit the movie because we find out that the reason why he doesn't have his own pet is because his dog passed away and it was too painful. And we're like, nope. Daniel actually paused the movie and slammed the remote down and stared at me and was like, I'm not finishing this because it made you sad. A Hallmark movie evoked emotion in you.
Negative emotion.
It was very sad. Very sad. But I felt like this was a pretty good movie. Like, for the Hallmark movies. It's the best. It is the best Hallmark one we've watched of the season.
Again, not saying a lot because
the cats
the quality,
were cute. And the dogs that we saw.
The cats were cute. But the quality of the Hallmarks has been going downhill.
This
Even more than usual.
Was this the best one of 2025 of the Hallmark so far?
I don't know. I try to blank them all out.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, there's another cat that she ends up liking called Gingerbread, and this cat, it reminds me of the grumpy cat with like the squished face.
That's what they were going for.
And this cat like hates everybody else, but like finds a kindred spirit in her. So she ends up, obviously, she's falling in love with this cat. We have foster boys the foster kid like finally gets to adopt the cat. He's allowed to do that because it turns out his foster parents are going to be able to adopt him. That actually made me cry. That was sad. And then I guess she and the lead guy, they have good chemistry. He still hangs out with. I did kind of like this part though. Did you listen a little bit? It was a little meta for Hallmark, but saying like how this doesn't always go that way. The explanation of his ex-fiance or ex-girlfriend, they said they dated in high school. Then they broke up. She came home, like a lot of them do in the Hallmark movies. They tried to make a go of it, but they didn't work. So remember, she's the one that runs the restaurant. I'm like, oh, so they're showing that doesn't always work out when you come back to your hometown and you hook back up with your high school love, that you tend to not work out. I thought that was like a nice little detail.
Yeah.
My gosh, you're so
anyway,
annoying.
she's going to go. She gets him to agree to sell his portion and sell the Catnip Cafe. And they have a fight. She leaves. And then she have a flat tire? Why does she end up at the mechanic
They don't have
place?
really a fight. He's like, oh, so you're still going to sell? And she's like, no, it's been my dream to put down roots just because they did share a kiss. They've been kissing before the end of the movies.
They've been smooching
the past
all over
couple
the
years.
place.
Little Mo with the gimpy leg. So they kissed, and he thought that, that not only was she going to stay at the cafe, but they were, into each other and falling in love. But she's like, no, you don't understand. I have to make this dream come true. And then she has some type of flat tire, like you said. She ends up at this mechanic place, and she sees this cat. And you forgot the whole detail about how the cat cafe got started.
They put flashbacks throughout the movie.
With the aunt,
and they discovered a cat in the Christmas tree, and her parents wouldn't let
because they moved around too much.
Because they moved around too much. But the aunt apparently kept the cat, but then she never saw the cat again. So it's like, I guess that was her last Christmas with the aunt.
Yeah, she was very inspired to keep the cat, and then not only help other people with the cats.
That's what inspired the aunt to
do the Catnip
Cafe. And so then
I feel like animal lovers are gonna like this
when
one.
she arrives at the mechanic shop, there's a cat in there, and it looks kind of like the cat that she tried
from childhood.
And it reminds her of that all that important stuff. And then the guy says, "Oh yeah, I got this cat from the rescue place, the Catnip Cafe." Blah 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 blah.
And she realizes, I can put down roots there. I can run because I think she's like a marketing person or something. I don't know. It
doesn't matter.
And she's not going to move in with the vet guy. She's going to live in the old aunt's house that she's going to pay for, and that's going to be her house. And she adopts Gingerbread. It's great. The end. One of her cute cats, though. The cats were cute, and the doggies were cute. You liked this.
The businessman that was going to buy the cafe.
He didn't even care at the end.
He was like, "Oh, I like this cat, and so I'll tear up this contract that you already signed to Billy from Battlestar Galactica."
But it was funny with him because we were all expecting him to be that just classic, lawyer villainy, oily man, and he was just there. He was just there to do his job. Like, are you going to sign? Are you going to not sign? And then he was like, "Yeah, all right, cool. I think this cat likes me." That was a good little detail. And then also, I forget the actress's name, but she shows up in a lot of the movies. She played Dr. Hope in Wisest Men and Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper. She showed up in this one and talked about, with the cats and the cat movies, because she's the one that starred with Superman, Brandon Roth, in the 9 Lives of Christmas, and they did a sequel to that one as well. And the first one of the 9 Lives of Christmas was is top tier when it comes to Hallmark movies. I love that one. So I'm like, yes, we need a what's it called? Why am I blanking on 3 movies? A trilogy. We need a trilogy of the cat movies, and we know Brandon Roth is still doing Christmas movies because he showed up in one this past year with Susu Heck from the Middle, the Keller Family Christmas Vacation. I geeked out a lot about that a lot more than you did, but I really like the intertwining of the people in the Hallmark universe, and getting a third cat movie would be fantastic. And then these guys can make a cameo from their Catnip Cafe. As you sit here and stare at me with your sourpuss face like the gingerbread cat, I would just like to say that you enjoyed this one more than the other Hallmark ones. Daniel plays a character sometimes on this podcast to try to be the foil to my excitement, and I could tell that this one was easier for you to tolerate, unlike some of the other Hallmark ones. So, was this better than fine?
It was fine. They did. The cat actors were very good. They were the best actors in the show, the cats.
All right. Next up on the list is we're going to jump over to Netflix. My Secret Santa on Netflix. So y'all just think of Mrs. Doubtfire, but it's a woman who has her brother make her like a mask and a fat suit to impersonate Santa. Okay? It's like the like that's how I would best describe it. A Mrs. Doubtfire type like plot, or like She's the Man, the movie with Amanda Bynes, where from years ago. So basically, in this one, it's this lady. She's a former rock, like local musician. I'm gonna think she's like
punk rocker.
I feel like she's gonna be like a Haley James Scott in terms of famous. Like people know who she is, but you wouldn't be able to pull her from a crowd. And Haley James Scott is not a real person. That's from One Tree Hill. Remember when Haley I get the reference.
Yeah,
you guys.
Local people know her, but like she never grew to beyond that.
Her name is Taylor, and she stopped doing that because she got pregnant in college. With her daughter, the husband just out of the picture, deadbeat dad, take a drink, and she's struggling to make ends meet. They're living in an apartment. She's struggling to pay her rent on time, but her landlord lady was like one of the funniest characters in the movie because she was into Santa. And, some of us gals, we like the Santa.
You were into Santa, too, despite the fact that it was Taylor in a Santa costume.
Weird.
With
I can't. It's very confusing. I love Santa. So anyway, she's at this record store, and she meets this guy who's like, ooh, is this you or something? I think he recognizes her. And they flirt, but he asks her out. She says no. It's later revealed that he's some playboy former like the son of the CEO of the ski lodge, and like he's apparently philandered. I don't philandered is not the right word.
No, that's absolutely the right
something
word.
Like that. He's like clearly in his 40s because that's Tom from The Blacklist, which is no longer still on.
I think it was just Tom. He was just undercover.
Daniel was like, how old is he? Like 50? And then we discovered he's what, like 41? Yeah. In real life. The bod is
I hate everything.
But yeah, like Daniel's like, isn't he a little old to be acting like that? And the answer is still old to be acting like that in your 40s. But he's coming home because the dad's trying to get him to run the company. And he's working with Tia Mowry. Her sister, Tamara Mowry, does Hallmark movies, but Tia's popping over on Netflix, and she's been the one that's been working at this company the whole time and is, like, super irritated that she has to help train his son. But anyway, flashback to Taylor. She gets fired from her cookie job? Like, working
she was some sort of inspector or auditor person.
Of the cookies.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like the cookie agency.
It's not a real job.
And they fire her, and he's like, there's ever a good time to do this. She's like, so you picked Christmas? And I'm like, fair point. And she needs to make some money, and she overhears... Oh, no. Her daughter... She needs to make some money, obviously, because she can't pay her rent. But then her daughter gets into the snowboard academy at said ski lodge, and... employees get 50% off. So she's like, I'm going to have to get a job at the ski lodge. And somehow she gets in her head like, I'll be Santa.
Well, she goes looking for a job. They're not offering one. And then she hears one of the characters talking about the Santa position.
Yeah.
And then she finds out, like, obviously it's a Santa job. And she's like, well, I've got to get this job. So.
And then her brother
conveniently.
Yeah.
Is some sort of like Hollywood makeup artist or something.
The brother can't loan her money, but can do an elaborate mask and fat suit for Santa.
Yeah.
So that's literally like the whole Mrs. Doubtfire thing. I just wish they would have like had her put a cake in her face at once. But when hello.
So she gets the job as Santa. She impersonates Santa. Yes. She starts out rocky, but then she eventually gets her footing, and everybody loves Santa. And then eventually...
She was giving Red Foreman Santa at first. Like, everything sucks.
The foil of the movie starts to catch on that something's odd about Santa. Meanwhile, she and Tom from The Blacklist are falling in love. And Tom from The Blacklist is falling in love with Santa Claus.
Yeah, that was what was interesting because he clearly liked Taylor when she would show up as herself. But he was constantly, like... vibing with it was very much giving like Mulan and like Herbu like before he knew Mulan was like a woman like
but instead it was what he thought was an overweight 60-year-old man.
I guess so. But the eyes did still sparkle. It was giving, like, you know, in Beauty and the Beast, where Belle is, like, snooping around in the West Wing, and she kind of looks at the picture, and she sees the similarity between, like, Adam, the Beast, like, his human form, his eyes, and the Beast eyes. He was like, it was like that, too, that reference.
I guess, although unlike Beauty and the Beast, when the transformation is complete, he's not wishing it would go back.
That was probably one of the most disappointing things. It's like, am I weird that I preferred the Beast? Like, they should have made him like a manly man. It was like a beard or like more muscular, so like a Henry Cavill
just
type
like a
guy.
16-year-old jackass kid, though.
I don't know.
We're talking about Beauty and the Beast now, so
anyway,
I don't even know what we're
circling back to my Secret Santa, did you notice though she said, like, 'cause she was like, "Oh, it's you," when he walked in, but he was like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, my name is Hugh."
Yeah.
And I'm like, Taylor, she could have just still said Taylor, because that could be a guy or a girl's name. You clocked Tamara Mowry, like, before I did. Well done, Daniel, that she was going to be the villain.
Yeah. Not villain. She's a foil. I don't know that I would call her the villain of the movie.
Well, she definitely tried to sabotage Tom from the Blacklist. But I feel like it would be irritating if you dedicated, like, your life to this job and all your time, and you realized, like, they're just going to give it to this Nepo baby. Like, that would be frustrating. I am really glad that because there was one scene that really bothered me when they were hiring, you know, the Santa. And they're like, "Oh, we're not going to do a background check." I'm like, you're not going to do a background check on somebody that literally has children sit on his lap. What on earth?
They didn't sit on his lap, her lap?
Yeah, because they would stand by. But still, you're being close to kids.
Yeah.
Creepy. But that actually was like a plot point of how Taylor was able to, like, and they used that, like, against it. So, like, they circled back to that. This movie was really funny, though. It was funny.
I'm going to tell you right now, everybody.
What about the scene where he thought Santa was getting railed in the bathroom? Because they're at a party at the same time, so she's at herself. Then she has to put the Santa outfit on. So the brother's in the stall, and they're, like, getting her back in the the pants. But it looks like, from somebody looking underneath, Tom's just, like...
They were so close
to
good. But it was
You
fine.
laughed a lot at this movie.
But it was fine. It fell apart at the end.
How so, Daniel?
The reveal that Hugh was actually Taylor, and how all that came together, and the ultimate resolution just fell flat for me. They were on strong footing. I enjoyed the premise of what was happening. I
could have used 20 more minutes.
They had funny moments. You're right. Like that scene with the changing in the bathroom was really funny. That's
where it peaked.
They had multiple good moments. But then the last, like, the conclusion was just unsatisfactory, because they knew they had to get back to normal Hallmark / crappy Christmas movie kind of wrapping it up, and they just, like, did it in the most, like, mundane ways possible.
I would have liked them to have kissed with her in the Santa outfit.
I know you would have.
And been like, or at least where she takes off the hat and she's still in the outfit and the fat suit and they share a kiss. That would have been cute. I did really like it how her landlord, like, she's like, "Oh, that's my dad visiting," but then she kept coming over to, like, flirt with Santa. But then you realize, like, the landlord lady was lonely too.
Yeah.
And clearly she's going to land the actual CEO of the ski lodge.
Sure.
They hinted that the two of them could get together. The daughter, how the whole reveal happens because the daughter got hurt, right?
Yeah, she got hurt on the skis, and so
the
Taylor,
snowboardings.
Whatever, yeah.
The snowboards.
The kids don't snowboard anymore.
So was this movie really filmed outside? You were very fixated on, like, what looked like their breath, like, in the cold.
Well, no, it wasn't the outside thing that got me. It was the actual cold set.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a July day
because,
like they do some of these on.
They, multiple times when they were doing outside shots, you saw their breath. And that's not easy to fake. Like that kind of. In fact, there were shots where it was almost so much it was distracting because you could tell how cold it was. So they did film that out. I think they must have actually, like, filmed on location at some sort of ski resort, because that little town, the ski resort built in kind of almost like that town setting, just looked. It didn't look like a set to me. So they did film outside in cold.
I know people that have seen Hallmark movies being filmed, and they'll be, like, on a July day with pumping in the fake snow, and then they have the actors and they have to put all the coats on and, like, the scarves. And I don't know. I think that's funny that they always have to do that. Oh, Catnip Cafe lady, by the way. I got to circle back to this real quick because I was just reminded of something. I have to. She's having trouble get coming up with the money. If we sold at least one of the coats, we could be well on our way to having more money for that down payment. This woman had a coat in like every scene. And I'm like, didn't you fly from California back to the stand? It's always, what always boggles my mind with the Hallmark coat thing is it's never the people that like are going back to their hometown and might have coats in their old closet. It's always the ones that have like a comically small suitcase or something that have like 50 million coats. And I'm like, where is it? Hermione's magical bag from Harry Potter. How are you getting all these coats in here?
Back to the Netflix Christmas movie we're actually talking about. Let me ask you this question. This or Champagne Problems?
At first, I thought I was going to pick this one because it was really funny in the moment, and I laughed a lot. And it was really good movie for like a Friday evening, especially maybe not so much for my rib injury because every time I laugh, I'd be like, I strained a muscle on my rib. Don't get old, guys. What does Frankie's dad say? Don't get old, Mike. Anyway, looking back, though, when I look at them after, I ruminate on it for a little bit, I still think Champagne Problems was the better movie of the two. It had more heart. I liked the characters. I liked the resolution. So I'm still going with Champagne Problems so far as the best one from Netflix. But this one was the funniest one we've watched this year.
I can agree with that. Yeah, the Champagne Problems was better overall and like had a more meaningful, impactful story. But this one was the funniest one of the season so far.
So tell me, Daniel, how would you have fixed the end of it? Since you say because you were really vibing on it till
how would I have fixed?
Would you have added 20 minutes? Because they did kind of wrap it up very quickly.
They wrapped it up quickly. I don't know if it was a timing thing. I just feel like the reveal fell flat.
Was it because it was such a I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. Like suddenly the rug's out for you watching Santa possibly get railed in the bathroom, and then boom, boom.
Like immediately,
time to resolve the movie.
Like that was like the crescendo joke, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, and then like 2 minutes later, they find out that her daughter fell, and suddenly she just runs out of that room, drops the voice, and just runs, and then she's standing by the EMS when she pulls the.
And I'm sitting there like, load the kid in the car.
And
why is everyone asking questions?
I feel like, probably to make the spectacle go even higher, you would have had to probably have somebody like pull the mask off of her. I don't know. I feel like it just kind of fell flat for me.
Well,
I don't know how to fix it.
EMT people weren't doing a very good job. We got the kid in the neck brace.
Yeah, they were.
And
like,
they're everyone.
I'd
be like, can we answer questions at the hospital? Let's load up, please.
Yeah, like they were just letting all this happen, and I just don't know. Like, they needed a reveal. They needed an old lady fainting at like the suggestion that Santa Claus was actually a woman, something like that, to just add a little bit of comedy. Here's my problem. The problem is the reveal of Taylor as Santa Claus was at a moment of, hey, your daughter is in a neck brace being put into an EMS.
Yeah.
And they completely, it was a comedy movie, and they took, there was nothing funny about the reveal.
Well, I'm not going to say it for the third time, but the whole Santa in the bathroom thing, a sentence I never thought I'd say, not once, let alone twice. It was very, like, we went from that to that.
Yeah, it was funny, and that's the problem, is the reveal should have been in a moment that should have brought some humor, even though it was going to bring some drama for the characters and consequences, and it just didn't do that, and instead it kind of just brought the mood down in a funny way to have it surrounded, to have this reveal circling around the potential injury of a child.
Yeah, but it was, I feel like if you're looking for something funny, this one. Next one is we're going back to Hallmark with the queen of Hallmark, Lacey Chabert, which, oh my gosh, huge breaking news in the Hallmark and Disney community. Speaking of Lacey, we all figured it was happening because Lacey's been spotted at some of the Disney parks filming. They are doing, it's like somebody said, you know what? I'm going to write this movie for hope. They are doing, coming in 2026, a Hallmark Christmas movie filmed on location at Walt Disney World. But that's not till next year. So we're talking about She's Making a List on Hallmark, starring Lacey and who is the male lead, Andrew Walker, also known as on this podcast
Pencil Man, and he held a pencil in this movie.
All right, Daniel, you give us the plot synopsis to this riveting piece of media.
Hold on just 1 second. Sorry.
Just made Marvin mad.
Lacey Chabert works for a company that Santa Claus has outsourced the production of the naughty list to.
The naughty and nice list. There's no elves working here.
So what that means is Santa.
She's worked there for 20 years.
First of all, Santa, dirty capitalist.
Oh, Daniel.
Also, it means that the people who make the naughty list, because they are not Santa Claus, they are regular people.
They're not
They
elves.
do not have powers.
Do you think they get recruited by like the FBI? Because if this agency really, well, I guess it's the whole plot of the movie. They reshape it. Like I would like to work. Like
So,
I would have been a great inspector.
Again, so these
Santa,
individuals
find me.
with no special powers are stalking children.
But the boss's name is Rudolph. Did you notice that?
Yeah, and it made no sense whatsoever. So Lacey Chabert is a stalker, paid stalker. She goes around town watching kids from bushes and then deciding whether they're naughty or nice. That's the plot of the movie, guys. That's it. There's nothing else I have to say.
Well, she's up for you're missing.
Yeah,
some
she's
details.
up for a promotion, and she
And-
gets audited by the auditors of the company that does the naughty list.
It's like their compliance department.
And they're like, you should reconsider XYZ. So she goes to reconsider XYZ, sees this girl doing a bunch of bad stuff, follows her around like a stalker, ends up at her house, gets caught by her dad, Pencil Man, makes up some stupid story about why she's there. She says she works for the power company, and she's there to look at his electric box for his Christmas lights. Honey, baby girl, the power company don't do that.
You are missing some little things about the agency. She had already met Pencil Man, but like pretended like not to notice him.
Oh, that's right, because she was
previously.
pretending to be a ticket person, putting
Like a
parking
car
tickets on
attendant,
people.
yeah.
And it's like,
So he already recognized her. I would have been like, is this woman stalking me? But I guess when you're
I
hot, you
think
get
he's
by
dumb.
with anything.
I think he's playing a dumb character in this movie. I don't think
A little bit.
The character that I'm not saying Pencil Man is dumb. I'm saying the character he was playing in this movie did not have a lot going on.
But I
up
also
there.
think it's another example of how hot people can get away with anything. Because if Lacey looked like a troll, he would have been like, troll in the dungeon. He would have not. Do you not agree? It's like the whole 50 Shades of Grey thing. If Christian Grey had been an ugly fat man, like no one would be into him. Like hot people can get away with a lot of stuff.
Anyways, she ultimately agrees to go on a date with him. She does like him and she is into him,
Yeah.
but more importantly, she goes on the date the excuse she uses is she's spying on the kids.
And she's trying to get Charlie, the daughter, off of the naughty list.
off the naughty list, and she finds all these reasons that Charlie's doing
I
stuff.
can't believe you're not even going to mention her disguise that they also referenced before you right after you referenced it. Remember, they have other inspectors walking around, and she's like, "Well, I'm going to have to not stand out." So what does she do? Does she dye her hair? Does she put on a wig? Does she
that's right.
wear prosthetics?
She just puts on Santa Claus or glasses.
Regular glasses.
Regular glasses.
Daniel
I'm
can't
sorry.
talk right
I can't
now.
talk.
And Daniel's like, "What is she, Superman?" And then I was like, "Well, that would actually be Clark Kent because I'm a nerd too." And then like they referenced it because he sees her. He's like, "Oh, I like your glasses. Very Clark Kent."
Now, I have a note for this movie, and I
You
feel like
do.
before we finish it, I have to go over this. So, they did a flashback early on in the movie.
Oh my gosh, you're so fixated.
I don't
on
know
this.
why, because they never did it again.
They explain why they did the flashback this way at the end. You weren't paying attention, but go on. I'll explain it to you.
Okay. Anyways, so, there's a lot of different ways you can show the audience that it's a flashback. And for some reason in this one, they just put a white border around it like it's a picture frame or something stupid.
Yeah,
And
and
I'll be
I'll
honest
explain
with you,
why.
I said out loud, because that's just how I am now, why not they just do, why do they have to do this weird picture frame thing as the flash just give me a piss filter or a black and white filter.
And then what did
now, I was referencing something very specific there with
But
the
I
piss
knew what
filter
you meant.
comment. And you knew immediately, without even asking me, if that I was referencing Suits.
Because what I said was we paused the movie. I said, "Oh, speaking of," I was like, "John Paul Fowl, shout out John Paul." I was like, he told me he started watching Suits, and you were like, "So you clocked it that I was referencing Suits?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course, yes, of course." But okay, so back to the picture frame, because she was, I guess, like I think like her mom died or whatever.
Dead mother drink.
And her dad wasn't around. Deadbeat dad.
Deadbeat dad drink.
So she would always like little was moving around into different places. So she had this book and she was like, I just want to make everybody happy. Their Christmas wishes come true. Because that's kind of how she got in the agency. So she had like a book that she made of the wishes. Because when they do meet Santa at the end of the movie, who's not at the North Pole, but he's in Delaware.
Bad Santa,
he's like,
by the way.
he has her book of all her Christmas wishes. They should have been consistent and used the same Santa from like those holiday touchdown movies. But I guess that Santa is too busy interfering in the NFL.
I didn't like this Santa. I don't like it when... Okay.
I would have liked if Tim Allen showed up as Santa.
As stupid as Santa in the Bills-Chiefs movies are, it was a wink and a nod. It could be Santa. It could just be some random guy dressed as Santa.
Weirdo.
In this movie, well, and this goes to the bigger thing about this movie. Not only did they meet Santa, and it was Santa, and everybody recognized it was Santa. Wait, this is not our Earth. This is an alternate universe because everybody knows Santa exists. Because when Lacey says she's going to get coal because she's on the naughty list, Pencil Man doesn't go, what do you mean? I get her the present.
I forgot about this.
He goes, yeah, I know. I saw that she got coal last year and I replaced it real quick at the last minute. This is just how the parents don't have to buy the kids presents so Santa does it in this world.
I suppose parents do that too. I thought that was gonna be part of the conflict that that he wasn't gonna believe that she worked with this agency, but it was just like absolutely accepted. They go to meet Santa. We can add that hot cocoa that they didn't drink to another list of foods.
Exactly, because the little girl she's following clocks her eventually and finds out what she does.
Yeah.
And I get it that the kid would believe her when she says what her job is.
The
adult's just like, oh, okay.
Okay. So, yeah, I don't...
And then we're going to get on a plane and we're going to go to Delaware and meet Santa Claus.
Yeah. Did you say he lived in Delaware for tax purposes?
Yeah, it was. They set up their corporation
it was not a good
in
joke.
Delaware for tax purposes.
So they have this
they
other
didn't make
plot...
that joke, by the way. I just
of this
assumed
guy.
that.
They have this other plot of this Italian guy that's her nemesis at work that's also up for the promotion and is a bad guy, kind of like her boss. And we could have just had the boss be the bad guy. I don't know what the point of the weird Italian guy was. But then at the end, obviously Santa's like, okay, well, clearly the formula for naughty and nice doesn't work. I don't know where the elves are. And he's like, so we're going to do it. We're going to make some changes. And the one guy, Rudolph, not a reindeer, regular man, who was on the golf course, he gets basically fired. But then at the end, you find out why he was there's all the plot, why he was so grouchy about it was because he got coal as a kid. So then they totally pull a Santa Claus. So him and the weird Italian guy get the childhood presents they never got before, like Neil with his weenie whistle and Scott Calvin's ex-wife with her mystery date. And they really kind of did that. But yeah, you and I were like, oh, so Santa is just socially accepted in this whole thing.
Correct.
And I'm like,
everybody just agrees he's real.
And
the parents don't have to
I'm with you on this because I think if Santa really did give kids coal, that's terrible.
Also, I have to ask, in our modern day of 2025, approaching 2026, do we need to update the Santa lore a little bit with the bad present? Does coal even really mean because in the olden days, you got coal, and they're like, wow, that wasn't a fun present. It did serve a purpose because you could warm your house with it.
I guess.
That's the idea.
So what would be a bad present to you?
It's a gift, but it actually does serve a purpose. And so now it's what do you give kids?
What do you think would be a bad present?
I don't know, $50 off
Werther's?
the electric bill.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I was just going old people candy. Okay, so you hated this one.
Yeah, this was terrible. This was awful. This was the dredge of humanity.
I feel
on display.
Because of Lacey and Andrew Walker, aka Pencil Man, I liked it, but I'm not as anti Santa showing up in these movies as you are.
Oh, well, that's true. I have a bias.
That's just Garland for you. If you know, you know. Because the next one that you did not watch is the worst Hallmark one of 2025 that I have seen. It is called The Christmas Cup. I was like, oh, I'll watch this one because it's two neighborhoods feuding over a Christmas cup. That could be ridiculous. The acting, not good. The premise, not good. It's basically this, she's a Marine, but she got injury discharge, so she's coming home, but she's trying to get back to reinstated, and she meets this other man who was like the firefighter guy, but he was in the army.
Just to be clear,
and he's in the town, the Bridgeport town.
I just want to make sure
competing with the other town.
I want to make one clarification here, just for my purposes, before you go forward. The Christmas cup. Is it a cup, or is it a cup like in a sense
the Geller
of
cup?
Is it a cup as in a cup that you drink liquid out of?
No, it's like a trophy.
Or is it a cup in the sense of like what a guy would put on to protect himself in a sporting event?
It's a trophy, but it's not like the Geller cup from Fred. That's all I kept thinking about was the Geller cup. It's just a trophy, but these two towns...
Is everybody else just seeing a troll doll?
These two... No, it's a 2x4. These two competing towns, and her dad is like the mayor, but he's like retiring as mayor, because I guess mayors have term limits. Do they really have term? I don't know.
Some places do.
But, like, the towns share the police and fire department, so that's how but the fire department guy, he's in the Bridgeport, the competing town, and he's going to help her Christmas Cup team. The competitions in the Christmas Cup is chugging eggnog, which looks horrendous. Blind tasting a cookie, and you have to name all the ingredients. And the chef
you're halfway there.
Untangling Christmas lights.
Flour, sugar, eggs.
He forgot ginger, and he's a chef. And one of the, untangling Christmas lights, Christmas trivia, but like about the town specifically, and a snowball fight. But the big conflict was that
how do you win the snowball fight?
That she's going to get reinstated, but she has to show up to Hawaii on Christmas Day. That's when they're shipping her out, and so she feels like she's let her team down because they're like, this would be the perfect job for you because you're a Marine. I'm like, yes, because being a Marine and captain of the neighborhood Christmas Cup competition is the same thing. But this one took me like 3 days to finish, y'all, just so I could check it off that list. I would give this one coal and put it on my naughty list.
You know what?
If a Hallmark movie is bad for me, it must be pretty bad.
I don't know why it took us this long to do this, but next year, all of our movies, we're just going to say, instead of saying they were good or they were fine or we didn't like it or whatever, did they get a coal or did they get a present?
Okay, Christmas at the Catnip Cafe. Coal or present?
Present.
My Secret Santa.
Present.
She's making a list.
Coal.
The Christmas Cup. Coal.
There you go.
All right, so that's enough Christmas chatter. I also watched without
you
The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I'm just sorry, everybody. She abbreviates this to SLOMW on my notes.
Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Slombois.
Yes, season 3 reunion special. This could have been an email. It basically served as a preview to season 4. They're like, oh, we could get into this, but we can't talk about that. It was mostly a lot of Demi and like Jen shouting back and forth at each other. Whitney barely spoke. She said like one thing. There's one scene where they're like backstage because Dakota, apparently on a show that's not even his, can demand the only way he'll come on stage if all the ladies exit the stage. So they're all backstage, but the cameras are back there. You've got Demi like screaming and crying, and Whitney, I think I sent you the TikTok, is just sitting there like putting mayonnaise on her sandwich, which Whitney, by the way, is going to play Roxy on Chicago. Good for her. I feel like after season 4, unless they can convince her to stay on the show, she's gonna be done because she's doing a movie, she's doing this. Like, she barely talked. Really, everybody barely talked. I guess they filmed for 12 hours and the reunion special was only 1 hour, and all the cast people are like, why is this not there? 2 of the girls were clearly disassociating because, again, like, SA was a big topic of it, and one of the girls was trying to say that, like, who a lot of people have accused of lying. I don't know. I don't want to ever tell somebody else's story, but, like, at that Vanderpump Villa, I do not want to hear about this Marciano guy anymore. But I guess like he grabbed one of her butts, and she was like, "Oh, you guys should know how I feel."
She had 2 butts.
Grabbed her butt, not one of her butts. Grabbed her butt, and she's like, "You guys should know how I feel because you guys dealt with this." Well, one of the girls, Michaela, has dealt with it since she was 6 years old, and was like, that happened to her as a child. That is not the same thing of trauma. Are you laughing? You're not laughing at this, are you?
No, I'm laughing. I just kill myself.
Oh, you're
the 2 butts joke. I'm just laughing at my own
But do you
joke.
not agree? Like, you shouldn't compare that. Somebody that was abused
I
at
agree
6.
with you. Yeah.
So I felt like Michaela just because they don't want to. You don't want to say anything because then you don't want to seem like you're being a liar about somebody else's story. So they just clearly disassociated the whole time. Michaela's like, I'll talk about the reunion later because there's a lot you didn't see. I felt like I was watching a commercial for Dunkin' Donuts because they had a whole Dunkin' bar set up. I'm like, half these people don't even drink coffee. We know this from Mormon wives.
I feel like
what is going on?
From as a person who has not really watched the show, like I think I've sat on the couch and watched and like suffered through maybe 15 to 20 minutes total of these 3 seasons. I feel like this show, like a lot of reality shows, go on forever and ever and ever, and I think this one's going to burn out bright and fast. Like, because I think a lot of the main people who are bringing people in, like a Whitney,
they
aren't going to be there anymore. Taylor, do you really think after
Taylor's doing Bachelorette?
Now that she's the Bachelorette, do you really think she's going to come back to this show?
In the first couple episodes of season 3, Taylor was off on a therapy retreat. Whitney wasn't filming, and I can tell you those episodes were boring.
Yeah.
So really nothing got resolved. Nothing got talked about. It was a huge waste of time. Speaking of waste of time, I also, Without You, I watched, they did for the first time a Dancing with the Stars holiday special.
I'm glad I missed that.
Yeah, I love a good holiday special, but this was only a few new dances, and let's show old Christmas dances from past seasons. So this was called, like, ABC and Disney Plus was like, let's put out some content. And it was filmed in advance, so it wasn't live. The one thing I liked about it, though, was that Emma did a dance, All I Want for Christmas is My 2 Front Teeth. And so Andy was just a giant tooth. And Reginald Vell Johnson, a.k.a. Carl Winslow, came out to, walk 2 more steps and look cute as can be, dressed as a tooth. So I don't care that the man can barely move. He's precious. He's a gem. And I love that Emma included both him and Andy in this dance. But he made Andy look like a mirror ball champion. But, yeah, that was fine. I also watched the Disney. Yes, you did watch some of this with me. Disney parks, I always watch their holiday special. I watch their Christmas parade on Christmas Day, and I always watch their holiday special beforehand. And let's just say the same people that planned the Macy's parade were not in charge of this, because I was like, who is this? Mariah the Scientist. Who is this? She's saying Santa Baby in Animal Kingdom. I don't know who Mariah the Scientist is. I know you had a very visceral reaction when she's like, I'm from Atlanta. My favorite part of Christmas is snow. And Daniel was like, it barely ever snows in Atlanta. But then she clarified, she's like, but when it does snow. So Atlanta people weigh in. How often does it snow on Christmas, specifically in Atlanta? I knew Trisha Yearwood. I knew her. I knew they're called Lady A now. I knew them. But, like, they didn't even wheel out Pentatonics for the Dancing with the Stars thing. Pentatonics wasn't even in this Disney park special.
What a shame.
I was like, who are these people?
Who are
these people? Who are these people? It was Derek Huff, though. A lot of him. He's a song and dance man.
A lot of him. I like you're sitting there complaining because they did go to the Magic Kingdom until the very end.
They did at the beginning and the end.
And I was like, but they were telling a narrative story of Derek traveling to the Magic Kingdom by going through all the other parks. I thought I that was immediately like obvious to me.
I really like how I watch this stuff, but you pay attention to the finer details more than I do. And I don't know.
I don't like that. I'd rather just not know.
Also, Christmas in Rockefeller Center, snooze. Who were half of these people? I knew who Kristen Chenoweth was, is. I know Reba. I know Michael Bublé. They always wheel him out at Christmas too. No Pentatonics in this. A bunch of other people. They had one singer that definitely does. She does the curse of singing like this. I feel like I could be a singer. Don't make me sing. And there's just always somebody that has to do that old-timey voice. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I remember when they used to have Rosemary Clooney on this. And Daniel's like, she's been dead forever. Hope. I know that. I'm just talking about, like, I feel like it used to be a bigger deal than it is, the Rockefeller Center thing. And then I had no idea that they lip synced for this. I just always thought they sang live. I knew they didn't sing live for Macy's. I feel like I've been like fed a lie. Some people are better at lip syncing though, because Kristen Chenoweth looked like she was singing live.
Yeah, well, some people are better.
New Edition. That's like the band. They're like an old time, like way before my time. Like Bobby Brown, Whitney Houston's.
They're not new anymore.
They're like old edition. They like got back together. They have a holiday album out. That's when I was like, are they lip syncing? Because like one of the New Edition people was sitting there like this.
He's doing the Ricky Valley.
I get the what?
The Ricky Valley. What's
Who's
the guy
Richie
from?
Valley? Who are you talking about? Ricky
I don't know.
Valley.
What's there? One of the not Temptations. What's that movie you made me watch about the
Which
singing
one?
guys from New Jersey? Jersey Boys.
They sing in Jersey Boys.
Right, but that movie was about what's his name?
Frankie Valley.
Frankie Valley, and now Frankie Valley in the now old, and the memes of him up there.
Okay.
Look, guys,
He's
I'm
like
tired.
in his 90s,
I don't know
isn't he?
why This shouldn't have been a 50-minute episode. Yet here we are, and I'm still trying to just string sentences together.
You're talking about Ricky. Okay, well, you spent the first 10 minutes talking about sausage. All right, guys.
It's a good Christmas sausage.
Anyway, I did finish Tell Me Lies, seasons 1 and 2. Stephen DeMarco, biggest villain in television movie history I've ever seen. But we will talk about that more before season 3 drops. I believe it's coming out sometime in mid-January. So the episode prior to, maybe it'll be when we come back. I don't know. I'm going to give you guys my full review on season 1 and 2 and what I expect to happen from season 3. But once again, there's been several of you that told me to watch this show. You guys nailed it. I felt like after watching all this crappy Hallmark stuff, which I do like, but Tell Me Lies, Diabolical, Stephen DeMarco, biggest villain ever. I feel like my jaw just dropped multiple times, and it's really hard for me to do that in a show. So I promise you, I will talk about that in full as we get closer.
This guy's better than the Joker?
Yes.
Okay.
Stephen DeMarco is the worst villain I've ever seen.
Well, folks, that about does it for this episode of the We Watch TV podcast. If you like this podcast and you want to support us, go click the heart buttons or the thumbs up buttons.
Don't give us coal.
Don't give us coal or whatever the positive button is on your various podcast app. We have an Instagram account. It's We Watch TV Podcast. We do funny stuff there, share weird memes, and other than that, I don't have anything else for you. Hit me up. What are your favorite Christmas cured meats? Let me know. I'm on Twitter. Send me a message. I might check it in 7 to 10 business days when I get on there and look. What are your favorite cured meats for the holiday? Anything else you want to share, or are you just going to let me talk about cured meats?
I'm out.
Christmas sausage. I want to hear about it.